Hi everyone. In this video, let's see how we can solve this question from CFA textbook. Through the solution, we will see that how we can find the present value of an annuity that grows at a constant rate each year. Let's see what is stated in the question first. So the question says that Hideki Corporation has just paid a dividend of 450 yen per share, which means that D0 is 450. The dividend today is 450. Annual dividends are expected to grow at the rate of 4% per year over the next 4 years. So now we know that what is the growth in the dividend each year. In year 1, we will receive D0 into 1 plus G. In the second year, we will receive D0 into 1 plus G square. In the third year, we will receive D0 into 1 plus G cube and so on. At the end of 4 years, the shares of Hideki Corporation are expected to sell for 9,000 yen. So we now know that what is the price that we will get at the end of 4 years. If the required rate of return is 12%, the intrinsic value of a share of Hideki Corporation is closest to. Now we get the required rate of return, that is R as well, which is 12%. So we have all the information. The task is to find the intrinsic value of the share. We know that the intrinsic value is the present value of all the future benefits. What are the future benefits? Future benefits are the dividends received in the future and the price we will get at the end of the 4th year. We have to discount all these benefits and get the price of the share today. So we have this equation here which says that IV equals to D0, right? This will be the dividend for the first year, which will be D0 into 1 plus G. Dividend for the second year will be D0 into 1 plus G squared and so on. And each year they are discounted by the factor 1 plus R. So for the first year, it is discounted by the factor 1 plus R. Second year will be discounted by 1 plus R squared. Third year will be discounted by the factor 1 plus R cube and so on. Now, at the end of the 4th year, we will receive two benefits. One will be the dividend, right, which will be D0 into 1 plus G raised to power 4. And the second benefit will be the price we will get at the end of the 4th year. We will divide this intrinsic value into two parts, solve for them separately, and then combine them. So the first part will be this one, which will be IV1, and this will be IV2. IV1 will be the present value of all the dividend benefits of the future. Okay, and IV2 will be the present value of the price we will get at the end of 4th year. So solving for IV2 is easy, right? It is straightforward. Let's solve for IV1 and derive a shorter formula which we can directly use in the examination. So let's proceed now. Let's again rewrite the equation for IV1. So this is the equation for IV1, right? Now if we see this, we can take out D0 as the common element from this equation and then let's rewrite the equation. So if we take out D0 common, so D0 into, let's state this factor 1 plus G upon 1 plus R as, let's say, Q. So let's write that just to shorten the equation. So if we rewrite this, so we are assuming that Q equals to, let Q equals to 1 plus G upon 1 plus R. Now if we take out D0 common, the equation for IV1 will be D0, right? This will be common. Then Q plus Q squared plus Q cube plus Q raised to power 4. Okay? Because 1 plus G raised to power cube upon 1 plus R raised to power cube will be, so if we just see this, 1 plus G raised to power n upon 1 plus R raised to power n will be simplified to 1 plus G upon 1 plus R raised to power n, which will be Q raised to power n. So now we get this shorter equation for IV1. Let's solve for this. Before solving for this, let's see the format for a GP series. So how does a GP series look like? If we find out the sum of a GP series, what will be the sum of a GP series? So let's say we denote sum of a GP series by Sn. So Sn equals to A plus AR plus AR square plus AR cube plus AR4 plus AR5 and so on. Now in this, what does A stands for? A stands for the first term, right? So let's say the first term is 2. So let's say A is the first term. R is the common ratio, right? R is the common ratio. Let's say R is 3. Then how many terms are there in this GP series? So that is denoted by N. If we see how many terms are there, there are total 6 terms. Okay, so N equals to 6 in this GP series. To find out the sum of this GP series, we have a shorter formula, which is Sn equals to into 1 minus r raised to power n upon 1 minus r. So this is the formula for sum of a GP series, right? We can plug in the values and we will directly get the sum for a GP series. We can identify a similar pattern of GP series in our equation for IV1 as well. If we see the second part within the square brackets for IV1, we will notice that we can break down this part, right? Q plus Q square plus Q cube plus Q4 as Q plus Q into Q, right? Plus Q into Q squared plus Q into Q raised to power 3, Q cube. Okay. So we can further break this down. This now looks like a GP series. This looks like a GP series in which A is equal to Q, right? R. R is equal to again Q. So which means that A equals to R. And now if we see, we have to add this GP series. We have to add all these elements. So now we know the formula as well for adding a GP series. This is the formula. We can apply this formula. So we can rewrite IV1. We can rewrite IV1 as, again, D0 was common into, we can now use the formula for summation of a GP series, which is A. So A is equal to Q. We can write Q here. Then 1 minus R raised to power n. R is again Q. So we can write Q raised to power n upon 1 minus Q. Now let's again substitute Q with the original part, which was 1 plus G upon 1 plus R. So let's substitute Q with that. IV1 will be D0 So this is the equation. Now let's further reduce it. So what we can do, we can write IV1 equals to D0 into 1 plus G upon 1 plus R into 1 minus 1 plus G upon 1 plus R raised to power n upon 1 plus R minus 1 minus G upon 1 plus R. This is the equation. So now if we see this, if we further reduce this, so we can see that we can cut this with this 1 plus R with 1 plus R. They will cancel each other out. Then we can see that 1 will cancel out this one here, right? 1 minus 1 will become 0. So now the final equation will become IV1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus G into 1 minus 1 plus g upon 1 plus r raised to power n, this whole upon r minus g. Let's close this and let's close this. So this will be the final equation that we will use. Now if we rewrite this, rewrite the final equation, what it will be? IV1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus G, right, into 1 minus 1 plus G upon 1 plus R raised to power N upon R minus G, and let's close the bracket. So this is the equation that we will finally use. If we generalize this equation for present value of an annuity that grows at a constant rate each year, we will get PV present value equals to PMT. So again, PMT here is subjective. If we see this part of the equation, D0 into 1 plus G, this is nothing but D1. This is the dividend we will receive next year, and we are discounting that dividend as well to today. So this PMT is the annuity that we will receive next year, which we are discounting it to today. So we can write it as PMT1, right? The PMT, the annuity that we will receive in the first year, which we are discounting to today. PMT1 into 1 minus 1 plus G upon 1 plus R raised to power N upon R minus G. So now let's plug in the values to find out the answer to the question. So let's plug in the values to this equation. So IV1 will be D0 into 1 plus G. D0 is 450 into 1 plus G. So 1 plus 4% whole into 1 minus 1 plus G, that is 1 plus 4%, upon 1 plus R, that is 1 plus 12%, raised to power N, since we are discounting for 4 periods, divided by R minus G, that is 12% minus 4%, right? Now, if the question stated D1 directly, then we would have used that. But since here we have the dividend today and the growth rate, we will use D0 into 1 plus G. So let's solve for this. So if I solve on the calci, first of all, we will solve for the first part, that is 450 into 1.04. That will be 468. So 468 will be the dividend we will receive in the first year, multiplied by, now let's solve for the second part. So first of all, we will solve for 1.04 divided by 1.12, which will be 0.92857 raised to power 4, which will give us 0.7434. We will add a negative sign before that, plus 1. So that will give us 0.2565, 0.2565 divided by 0.08, and the final result will be 1500.722. Okay, so that is IV1. Now we have to find out IV2 as well to get the complete intrinsic value of the share. This is the present value of all the dividend benefits we will receive in the future. Now let's find out IV2. So IV2 is 9000 divided by 1.12 raised to power 4, which will be, so we will first of all find out 1.12 raised to power 4, that we will do the operation 1 by x on the calculator. So 1 by x will give us 0.6355 multiplied by 9000. That will give us the final result for IV2 as 5719.66. Okay. Now we will add these two IVs. So final IV will be IV1 plus IV2, which will be 7220. So this is the final result that we have got. Let's see if we have this result as the option in the question. So let's go up and check. So if we see, we have option number B as 7220, which matches with our answer. So this is how we can solve for such type of questions in the examination. This is a faster way. If let's say there are 10 years and we have to discount all the cash flows for 10 years to today, then this equation can be very handy, right? So that's it for this video. I hope you like the solution and the approach, the derivation to arrive at the present value of annuity that grows at a constant rate. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more such videos.